Now, here we go. We do a podcast for you on a Thursday. Al, what up?
Oh, hi there, Jerry. You remember I was saying that if we get another snowstorm this weekend, and
You're leaving.
it doesn't look like we are, but I said I was going to
Yeah.
pack it up and move to Florida.
Yep.
I just saw on my Twitter that Florida
It's cold.
Tampa
Yeah.
is expecting snow flurries.
Yeah, it does not surprise me. This storm has basically been from the bottom to the top and moving. I know they're worried about the oranges and all the crops. I was in Florida in, I believe it was 99 into 2000, I believe, for New Year's Eve. I think I've told you this before. And we didn't look at the weather. We just assumed we were going to Florida. Yeah. I remember bringing a couple of sweatshirts just for nighttime, I thought. And when we got there, it was sunny, but the high temperatures were like 50. And there was a couple of days where it was in the 40s and you couldn't do anything. You couldn't go swimming. Like, we went to the parks because what else were you going to do? And which was not on the agenda. And I remember I have a little photo book from, and Kim and I went for that trip a long time ago. And we bought winter coats when we were out there. It was brutal.
Yeah.
And at that point, I remember they were so worried about, again, the harvest and the oranges and what are we going to do? And this is freezing and Florida's going to go bankrupt. It was wild.
Yeah, I went to the Phoenix, Scottsdale, Arizona area for New Year's Eve, maybe 10 years ago.
Okay.
And it was freezing.
Was it really?
Yeah, I was shocked.
I didn't know Arizona could get that cold. That's
it got very cold.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was seeing that they're expecting, well, it's going to be like in the 30s and they could get snow flurries.
Wow.
And that it has not snowed in the Tampa area since 1977.
Oh, so it has happened before.
It flurried.
Interesting.
Yeah.
They must be like winter wonderland.
Well, they freak out down there when it gets to like in the high 50s.
Yeah,
They're like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. People don't move to Florida to be in the 50s.
Yeah.
I know.
Just today, I went on Google Maps. You know how you could do Street View?
Yeah.
And like look around and move the cursor around and move. I went to my old neighborhood.
Really?
And I wanted to see what all the stores have changed.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it is 20 years ago, right?
25.
25 years ago.
25. Yeah, the public supermarket is now a Walmart.
Oh, okay.
Like that sort of thing. It just changed out, but it was interesting to think because I was
at real estate.
No, I was. It was just funny. Like it just hit me. Like Tiki Barber was out there talking and referenced I guess Rondé works for the Buccaneers. He does some stuff with them.
Yeah, I don't know if he does any. He's in their Ring of Honor though.
Yes.
And so the backstory to this is Gene Deckerhoff retired, announced his retirement. And
the radio man.
And it's a full-time job. Like you're like Bob Papa for the Buccaneers. You work for their media department. The way I understand it, you do the games on Sunday, but it's like a real full-time job. And I remember, I think I even said to you once, I'm like, I feel like I should ask Tiki to ask Rondé. Why not? Just send your stuff in, but have a contact. And ultimately, I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm not bothering Tiki with that. And literally like 2 or 3 days later, I heard Tiki on his show with Evan, say how his phone has blown up from all the play-by-play guys he's worked with that are asking him to get the contact information from Rondé.
Oh, yeah, because Tiki's done a lot of play-by-play with so many different guys over the years.
And I've done a couple of games with him, too. And then I said the next day on the show that I wasn't asking Tiki, and then he talked about how old I get. So I said to Tiki in the newsroom a few days later, I'm like, hey, by the way, I ain't asking you. And so long story short,
well, because Evan played it. Yeah.
He played. Well, right. But going back to when this all happened first, I said to him, like, hey, I'm one of those guys. I have not asked you. And he's like, I appreciate that. Ha, 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 whatever. Then we talked about it on the show. And then so Tiki in the newsroom today, he was like, by the way, I'm getting you that contact information from my brother from Rondé. And he mentioned the first name. And you stopped dead in your tracks when you heard the name Jeff.
Yeah. And I asked, I go, is his last name? I go, Jeff who? They go, Jeff Ryan. Jeff Ryan, when I was there 25 years ago, was working on the Buccaneers radio network. I could not believe it.
Yeah, how about that?
Meanwhile, I've been here 19 years and I've been...
See, it's funny. You think that, but then you don't realize you've been here in one place for a very long time.
I know. It hit me when it was a different person other than me.
Yeah.
And I was telling you this conversation I had with this guy many years ago. I mean, it had to be... If I left there in March of 2000 or February of 2001, I probably had this conversation with him at some point in the late 90s.
Okay.
With this guy Jeff, who still works for the Bucks.
Right.
At the time, the broadcasts were done at the local radio station level. So Jeff worked at the country station, WQIK, which had the Buccaneers games.
Okay.
So he worked on the Buccaneers games. So I'm sure he did other stuff at the radio station too. But I remember I went in and just sat down to talk to him about my career, just like for advice.
And how old are you at this point? In your 30s?
I had to be, if it was 98, probably. So I was I born 69?
So 98 would be 28 years
30,
ago.
yeah, 31, 32
so early
years old.
30s. Maybe even 29.
And I remember him talking and him telling me that he makes $50,000 a year. And I was like, oh my God, if I could be this Jeff one day,
Yeah.
that would be amazing. I could not imagine $50,000.
Right.
Like that was, I was making.
And you were almost 30.
I was over 30.
Or
I was
you were
probably
around
31.
30.
31.
Because I
30.
only bring it up because you and I always talk about how some of our friends would get out of college and within a couple of years had big jobs.
Yeah.
Like accounting firms and then we're making serious money. And it took me until I was trying to think the year now, probably 26 or 27 before I would say I was making a livable wage. Like, think about all those years the two of us worked for like nothing.
Yeah. Although, like I've always said, like I didn't feel like I was struggling
I did.
in Florida.
I did. But I didn't live in Florida, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I was making $19,000 in 1996, 97.
And you felt okay.
Yeah.
And I was making 22.5 in 98 and was broke, beyond broke.
Yeah. So that's the big difference of where we were.
Yeah.
Right. It's like my rent was $400 a month. I didn't have a car payment. So I felt like.
And my rent was at that point $900 a month. And I did have a car payment. And I had tolls to pay.
Yeah. Right. I had no tolls.
Because I could see
no
how
commute, really.
If you were comfortable as a single guy at $19,000 a year living alone in Tampa, how 50 is literally 2.5 times. Like you were comfortable.
I couldn't imagine.
And that's 2.5 times what you're making.
Right. That felt like I was like, oh my God, if I made 50 grand, I'd probably get a sports car. You know what I mean? I was like,
yeah, I do.
To think you never, I remember thinking like, wow, to think would never have to think about money.
Yeah.
If I was making $50,000. And then I remember when I was losing the job in Tampa and the job was open at WNEW in New York and I wanted to come back. I remember trying to do the math, what is the minimum I can make to take this job?
Right.
To commute from New York. And I remember I did the math. I had all the notes, everything. And I had in my head, I don't know why I wasn't contemplating taxes because I really wasn't. In my head, I was like, okay, if they'll give me $36,000, that's $3,000 a month. And then rent up here when I moved back in 2001 was $800.
God, was it really?
Yeah. And for the place, it was a normal place, not a beautiful place, average place, but it was $810. I was like, okay, if I'm getting a $3,000 a month, $810 goes to my rent. Again, I didn't have a car payment, so an old car. And I was like, okay, commute into New York. I could do that. And they paid me $43,000 at NEW.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you must have felt like you were, at least briefly, before you realized the tax situation.
Yeah, I felt like I had some breathing room.
Yeah. How about that? Very interesting.
Yeah, it really does. Like what you make, it's really what your expenses are. It's really what money do you have left over after all of your expenses are.
And what do you do with it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny you bring this up just because Kim and I had the conversation yesterday about how much longer we think we'll be in the house. Only because my older son is 21. I don't know how much longer he'll be with us. Maybe another year, maybe 2 max. And I said to her, I'm like, once he moves out, what do we like? Our house there's nothing huge about our house. But it is a 3,200 square foot house. And the backyard is a great size, but they're not kids anymore. It's basically used now to have parties, people over to have drinks. and my 15-year-old hits golf balls back and forth. Like that's what it is. And so we had the conversation about, what do we do? And, I think ultimately the idea is to see where my younger son goes to college and if he is going to try and compete and be a golfer at a low level college. I don't know if he's good enough to do that. I don't know. But if he is, I don't think I want to stay here if he's going to be at some small school in North Carolina compete. I want to go watch him. So we've already started to have a conversation about moving and, but then it's what about the money? And we were talking about discretionary income. And she's like, yeah, I don't feel like we have as much of that as we should. I'm like, we do, but we spend it. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, not for nothing, but I spend a lot of money at a golf club. Like that's discretionary income. I said, we put them through private grammar school and private high school. That's discretionary income. They don't have to go to these schools. You got a new car. Didn't need to do that. Like, and I started adding it all up. She's like, wow, yeah, it's a lot of money we spend. I'm like, yes, it is. So you're right. It's all about expenses and how you choose to spend your money or save your money or invest your money.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always like what people that's what you got to figure all that out because even when I got my first condo when I moved back, I think I rented that apartment for 2 years.
Okay.
And then
right around 810 a month.
At 810 a month, and then I bought a condo in 2003.
That was Basking
2004. Ridge? No, that was Woodbridge.
Oh, I didn't know you bought that. I thought you rented in Woodbridge.
No, I bought a condo for check this out, Jerry. I bought a 1-bedroom condo in Woodbridge for $134.
Okay.
And again, so my mortgage was now $800.
Yeah.
And again,
did you make money
like
on that when you sold it, or even?
Barely. I bought it for $134 and I sold it for $165.
Okay. After some of the fees, though, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I used that as my down payment for Basking Ridge.
Oh, got it.
Which I had for 9 years and lost money on somehow.
Right. Well, that's the downside to the real estate. Right now you're in a very good spot where you are because the market went up, and I'm in a very good spot. But that housing market crashes tomorrow, which it could. All of a sudden, that's not such a great investment. Like, that happens.
Yeah. I know. I wish I could foresee the future.
Don't we all?
That would be awesome.
Yeah, but you don't want to know your death date.
If it was really far away, I would. Like
if it
was
closer, though.
If it was 30 years from now,
I don't know. I don't want to know.
Then I'd be like, I at least have 30 years.
You do, but what do you do when you get to that final year? Just go on a complete spree?
Yeah, I'd be like, so what? How much money I got left here?
Right, you want to get to that date with zero on the balance sheet.
I see all these financial guys that I watch on YouTube and things, and they're always talking about leaving a legacy. I'm like, leave a legacy? I want to spend all my money before I die.
You better start.
Ain't no one left me no legacy when I get started.
It's kind of like a lot of, I'm trying to think who it was that I just saw. One of these real estate investors that's worth $1 billion. I saw on that Diary of a CEO where he said, he's told his kids, I'm not leaving you the money, because he feels like it makes them lazy. He goes, you know what to do. You've watched me do it. Now go do it on your own. And he's essentially, his will has all his money going to charities and other places. That's the legacy he's leaving. But it's funny because you always watch these retirement videos, and I'm with you. I've started to see a lot of this, the 4%. What I don't understand, though, is if you're only taking out 4% and you're hoping that you're getting in the stock market still, let's say conservatively, 7% growth every year, you're taking out less than it's earning. So you save up, let's say you save up $4 million in your, I'm just making up a number. You've saved for 50 years, you got $4 million in there. You're going to take out 4% every year annually. So 4% of $4 million is essentially, if I do the math correctly, will be for $160,000 a year, have to spend. And at the end of that year, you're going to have more than $4 million because you only took out 4% and earned 7%. Yeah. So as the years go on, you're going to end up with more and more money. You're not spending your money.
I know. I think what all these people are doing with that 4% rule is they're waiting for a huge crash and for you to still be able to survive.
Okay. I get the huge crash, but using the format, I do not have $4 million. Maybe you do, but I just, that number came to mind.
I do not.
But let's just say it was $4 million. And let's say you were making 7% annually. and you decided I'm going to pull out 7% annually so that on January 1st of 2028, I have the same amount of money that I started on January 1st, 2027. Even if the stock market crashed, that's not going to zero.
Right.
You might lose 50% of your money. No doubt, maybe 70% of your money. You're not going to have zero. That's not, even in 1929, did the stock market go down to zero?
No.
So I don't understand. It's almost like you're pulling out the minimum. I don't know. It just seems strange.
It does feel strange to me. Other theories now go, you take out what the market makes. So if the market made 7%,
Right, so
take out 7%.
And that's what I'm talking about. Take out level. But even with that, you're guarded against the crash, but you're still never touching the principle of the money.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Why they don't want you touching the principal.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
Very,
very strange.
Yep.
What else did I want to? Oh, a lot of people are complaining in various cities across where we got the weather that the cities themselves and the towns are not doing a good enough job removing the snow. I don't know what it's like in your town.
They did a really good job
getting it off the street.
Yeah.
But what do they do? Like, there's just gigantic
Well, what are you
piles.
supposed to do?
I don't know. So in New York and in Philadelphia, I'm seeing people are very upset that people are taking pictures of main crosswalks in the city where people are walking, not cleared at all. Like, what? Or certain streets. I saw streets in Philadelphia that looked untouched in the city.
Really?
Yeah. So people are like getting very angry because this is what we pay taxes for.
Well, they're right about that. The only thing I can think is if you're in the city, if you have big tractor, I don't know, and you load up the snow onto dump trucks and you go dump it in the Hudson River. I don't know.
I was talking to someone who works in the corporate offices here. And he told me that New York has these big trucks that are ice melting trucks.
Okay.
Like the big boulders and all go in the back of the truck. It gets melted and then they dump the water.
And you get black ice right on the street.
No, they dump the water on
sewers?
in the sewers in the system like that, or dump it in the river like you're saying.
I think we minimize or don't realize how big these cities are.
Right, and the amount of truckloads you would need to do that.
It's a lot. I mean, because I'm going to. So don't start tomorrow. You don't know where I am. Don't start on Wednesday.
I don't know where Jerry is.
Where you don't know where I am. I will be in sunny Southern California.
What?
Tomorrow through Tuesday night. I'll be back Wednesday. I'm not coming into work Wednesday because we land at 6 a.m. But I don't know where I was going with that.
We were talking about the snow and the giant.
Right. So I was concerned that we were going to get hit with another big storm this weekend, and I'm not home, and I feel my kids will handle it, but I feel bad just not being there. And I thought the same thing in that when you look at the mounds of snow, like when you're coming out of my driveway, when you get to the apron, you can't see if a car's coming because so if there's more on top of that, I don't know what else they're supposed to do other than plow it to the side, and it's up to us to clear the sidewalk. I don't know.
The other problem is, like, if we got, let's say, I don't know how many inches they said we got. Did you ever figure out
14, I believe, in my town.
Okay, so if you had 14 inches of snow, and like during the day today, every day, the sun has been shining.
Oh, yeah, you see some meltage. Not a lot, but you do see it.
But when it's stacked up 8 feet tall, that's going to take forever.
Well, that's like you said the other day when you go to these strip mall parking lots and you see mounds of snow in April.
All filthy.
Yeah. It's going to take a while. You're going to need like several 50-degree bright sunny days for this snow to go away.
Yeah.
Like we could be looking at, you look at the temperature trends right now, it's really cold like for the next month. I don't know that this snow, like we could be sitting here on March 1st with the same white snow covered lawns.
I feel like nature always used to behave this way. Gigantic snowstorm followed by warmer temps, sun, rain to get it away, but temps above freezing after the snow so that it can kind of go away. Then I also wonder, like people that live in Buffalo, this is their entire winter.
Their whole winter's white. Their whole winter's
so they're always dealing with this.
Yeah.
So they must look at us like, what a bunch of wuss bags.
Yeah, well, you get soft when it doesn't snow for 6 years. Like it really hasn't snowed.
Yeah, we didn't get a big snow.
No. It's been you get a few inches of snow, so be it. That's fine. It's a nuisance, but it goes away.
We
This
got
is tough.
we got a pretty big storm in 2021
Okay.
because I remember I was in Bradley Beach,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember it was really rough out in the front as far as there was nowhere to put the snow.
Yeah.
But that was it. So for 5 years,
Yeah. It hasn't
there
been much.
wasn't really anything.
There has not been much. I really don't remember trying to get in here in the middle of the night in a bad storm. Honestly, um, I really go back to the Boomer and Carton days. I don't remember too many nights with G where we were in the city. I do you? I
No.
don't. Now, Boomer and Carton, I feel like we got walloped a few years in a row back in the 20 teens, but I don't remember much since Gio took over in 18. There's been nothing.
I think there was one time we were all in the city.
Were we?
Yeah.
Okay. I honestly don't remember
going
a day.
for burgers somewhere.
Okay.
And that was it. I've also decided this, Jerry, with all the crazy political things going on, that I'm no longer going to I'm going to try. This is going to be hard for me to do.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if this is still going on Wednesday when I get back.
Okay. I'm going to try to look at things this way. That if someone has very differing views of what I have
Mm-hmm.
for things that are going on in Minnesota, all these sorts of things, I'm going to just assume that that person and me are seeing different things. And I'm seeing things that give me one opinion, and the other person is seeing things that gives them another opinion. Because I'm sure on both sides, when you look at something, you go, well, this seems like the obvious answer. But it can't be if people are seeing it the complete opposite of you. You know what I mean?
People have different opinions and different values and they see the world differently. Absolutely.
Yeah. Like Bruce Springsteen put out a song yesterday for the people of Minnesota. As a song, is terrible. I mean, it's not catchy.
Okay, I didn't hear it. Okay.
It's not good. But it's very political about what's going on in Minnesota. And I want to be able to have a conversation to see what he is seeing and what I am seeing. But we never really have those conversations. Like Bruce Springsteen's never going to sit down and have a conversation with anybody about what he's seeing in Minnesota versus what somebody who thinks they're seeing something else in Minnesota.
Sure. Well, my first question would be, is he actually in Minnesota to see it?
No, he's not in Minnesota.
Okay. So then the next thing would be, and tell me if I'm off on this. I think when it is something political or even something sports related, we can really dummy it down. If you are in the trenches of something, you see things much differently than someone standing on the outside looking in. So I'll give you a sports analogy and then I'll bring it back to Minnesota and see what you think. So right now, a lot of Rutgers fans think Steve Peichel should be fired. They think he's done a terrible job. He's an idiot now. I'm someone that sees the guy work every day. I see the work that's put in, and I think those people are lost. Prior to NIL and prior to the transfer portal, the program had 4 years in a row of postseason basketball, one canceled because of the pandemic, but 20-win teams, 18, like they were into the top half of the Big Ten and on the rise. Now, the game has changed. They don't have any money. It's been different, and they think he's an idiot. When they were going to build a statue of him years ago, these people are on the outside. All they see are the results. They think he's an idiot. I'm on the inside. I know he's not. I know he's a damn good coach. I've stopped following people, and I've started blocking people on Twitter. I just can't take it anymore because they're very uneducated opinions. So now let's take it to the Minnesota thing. I fully admit I am not I'm not following this every day. This would be my guess, and you tell me if this makes sense or not. If you are in Minnesota, and I think everybody wants criminals out. I don't think there's much debate about that.
But that's and I think this is the part of it. It feels like, from what I see, that the Democrats don't want that, which seems very bizarre, and it does not make sense to me.
Yeah, that wouldn't make sense to me either.
It doesn't seem like they do want criminals out. That's what it feels like, but that can't possibly be true.
See, I couldn't think so either. I thought it was more with the I thought a lot of the disdain for this came from the mother or the illegal immigrant that has been here illegally for years and started a family.
Right.
And now, basically, because you didn't do it the right way, here's the one side. Let's take it from the other view. You're ripping a family apart. You're sending them back to where, with what? And I know there's programs in place where they can actually turn themselves in and get money and they'll send them. I know that. But to the point of where people are pissed off that people are being ripped out of their homes. If you're living there and seeing that and you're seeing the heartbreak of the I get that view. Now I'll take it to the other side. How do you distinguish, or what about the poor guy that's been trying to get into this country legally for years and has done it the right way and is on a waiting list? There's two different conversations here. And I just think if you're outside looking in, you've got a different view. The criminal thing, I don't understand. Like, if you've got a criminal record, and I don't mean a speeding ticket.
Yeah, like violent crime.
If you have a violent crime record and you're here illegally, I don't know how anybody would argue that point. The other one I do understand, and I do see the other side to that story for sure. But I just think we all don't, back to you, we all don't see the same thing. And we all don't have all the facts, but we all got opinions. And it's like, it's a problem.
And both sides cling to their whatever the party line is, right? So, and then it's like there doesn't seem to be a middle ground where it's like, I don't agree with this, but I agree with this. If it doesn't fall along the Republican line or the Democrat line, like,
it's almost like, as a Republican, you're not allowed to agree with, let's say, one thing you see from the Democrat side, even if it makes sense to you.
Yeah, like you can't say like, okay, so the one woman was shot in her car. It's either they shot an innocent mother of 3, or they shot a woman who was driving a car trying to run over an agent. Those are your two. You can't, I never see the opinion of, I don't think that woman should have been shot in the face. I also don't think she should have been driving a car towards an agent. You can't say, I don't think Alex Preddy, I think the other guy's name is, I don't think he should have been shot, but I don't think he should have brought 2 loaded guns to the protest. Like, it seems like it's either you have to be fully on one end or the other. It's just so weird.
Very weird time.
Yeah, it's very strange. And
it's very polarizing.
And I think if you're getting your news from Twitter, you see things one way. If you're getting your news from,
depends on the network.
Yeah, the network, you're getting it another way. Just so bizarre. So it would be even hard to have a conversation with Bruce Springsteen and say, yeah, that woman should not have been shot in the face. Do you agree, though, that she probably shouldn't have traveled from another state to go to a protest wherein she was going to drive her car towards an agent, even if she was trying to get away? Why are you in the mix there? Or that guy should not have been shot, but he probably shouldn't have brought 2 loaded guns to a protest.
Right.
Like, there's no middle ground. And it's like either the people who get shot are put up as heroes, or they're treated as
villains.
They deserve, like, they're either heroes or they deserve to be. Mm-hmm. There's no middle area.
Yeah, no, it's a rough one. And I don't think it's getting better anytime soon.
No, I know it stinks.
Yeah, it does.
But it's hard to even have the conversation if you don't know what the other person is consuming.
Or even want to hear it.
You are like, what are they consuming that they're getting their viewpoint? What am I consuming that I'm getting my viewpoint?
Yeah. And social media has, in some ways, I think, been very good to keep people informed. But the bad part of it is the slants that you see, whether it's Minnesota, whether it's California, whatever it might be. One person has one opinion. They're going to, it's kind of like having an argument. We always talk about, even in sports, you can frame any sports take and slant it to your perspective. And then you can do it the other way too. It's the same thing in life. And social media, depending upon who you're following, and now the For You feed throws a lot of crap at you. You can definitely be influenced by a lot. There's no doubt. And that's why I come back to, if you're not there and you're not seeing it with your own, I will always come back. We got to go. I will always come back to when I went on the cruise, literally a week after September 11th, or maybe 2 weeks after. As soon as I got out of this area, it was as if Nothing ever happened. Pull off for gas in Virginia. They're living their happy lives. Not a care in the world. You come up here, everybody's depressed, sad, scared, and it was just different. Those people watched it on TV. That's tough. All right, let's put All in the Family on now, or rerun, because it wasn't in their area and they weren't in it.
Right.
It's just different when you're around it.
Yeah.
Really is.
I think we solved that, Jerry.
That was deep.
All right, we'll see you, not you tomorrow.
I will see you Thursday.
Thursday? I'll see CeeLo tomorrow. You better buckle up, CeeLo.
I want you, when you come on, I'm in sunny California, 78 degrees
All
and
right.
sunny. I'll send you some photos.
I'll remember that.
Okay.
All right, warm up next. So